Welcome back to Heads Up SA, where we break down South Africa's political conversations and ask tough questions others shy away from. EFF Member of Parliament Sihle Lonzi once again stirred debate, this time targeting DA Federal Council Chairperson Helen Zille. It all started when Power FM posted a clip of Helen Zille exiting the studio after hosting a special 987 Women Edition show. Celebrating Women's Month, she was given flowers, a warm and symbolic gesture. But Lonzi wasn't having any of it. He jumped on X, formerly known as Twitter, and wrote, "Helen Zille is visibly old, tired and frail, which makes sense because she is a 75-year-old pensioner. No amount of paid media can change the fact. Helen must go spend quality time with her grandchildren. There is no Johannesburg that will be fixed by a granny." Strong words, but was he right?
We are not going to listen to Helen Zille. Helen Zille is a representative, is a delegate of Satan himself.
Guys, we cannot afford to have Helen Zille as the mayor of Joburg. Helen Zille is 100 million times worse Cyril Ramaphosa. She is the actual Tumamina of the Western imperialists. She's a
This isn't the first time Lonzi has cast political shade. He's built a reputation as an EFF firebrand, known for confronting corruption, exposing dodgy setter appointments.
You are protecting corruption. Why? Why am I being chased out? Because this chairperson is protecting corruption. The son of Cohete, the son of ministers, is kept to be appointed illegally in sitters. I'm asking a question and I must be dragged out because this chairperson is protecting corruption. What do I do? 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 What do I do?
And even challenging Higher Education Minister Butima Namela for bypassing due processes.
Good afternoon. I think all of us are very shocked that really in less than a month, or probably a month or so, the new minister Butima Namela is literally repeating the exact same mistakes that were repeated by its predecessors. Now, the argument that the EFF is making is that before we can even talk about how corrupt, how dodgy, I mean, when you listen to some of these stories that these people is appointing have done, backdating of contracts, tenders of 800 million rands, I mean, this is not the caliber of people you'd want to give such a responsibility. But even before we talk about those shenanigans, the minister did not follow the due process as it relates to the Skill Development Act. So we wrote to him and we told him, you breached 14.14a, you breached 15.1, and you breached 15.4. Even the statement that he released today doesn't speak about that process. He wants to fixate the country around this issue of he's going to take this thing to the Public Services Commission to scrutinize these names. I mean, why would you do that now? Because if you are a thinking minister, if you're a minister that takes your job seriously, you were supposed to scrutinize these people way before you appointed them.
So are you saying that the whole...
And just last year, he went after Jacob Zuma and the MK party, accusing Duduzile Zuma of fronting the organization through nepotism.
Dudu Zuma sits in front. You don't even know what is her position. She's just there. Hello, Commander. How Commander Tutu?
So clearly, Lonzi is no stranger to controversy. But here's the bigger question. Should age matter in politics? Helen Zille is 75 years old. That's a fact. But is that enough to disqualify her from leadership? Let's remember, she's not the only leader in South African politics. And internationally, we've seen leaders like Joe Biden in the US and Paul Biya in Cameroon still holding office well past their 70s. The debate is whether experience brings wisdom or whether age brings decline. At the Gertrude Shope Memorial Lecture, Minister Naledi Pandor made an important point. She said young women are needed in leadership, yes, but they should not undermine the experience of older women. Instead, collaboration between generations could yield far better results. So who's right here? On one hand, Sihle Lonzi and his fellow EFF MPs argue that a city like Johannesburg, Africa's supposed economic hub, deserves innovative, vibrant leadership that reflects the energy of a younger generation.
There's no DA which is going to dissolve any Johannesburg here. There's no DA that will dissolve. If Stonehaven's life is dissolved. He must not think that that's going to happen in Johannesburg. It's not going to happen, that one. Johannesburg is stable. Johannesburg has got a mayor, and the MMCs are up to task. A lot of those MMCs are up to task. They are trying their level best with limited resources and difficulties that we're confronted with in Johannesburg.
On the other hand, voices like Naledi Pandor remind us that dismissing older leaders entirely could mean losing valuable experience, institutional memory, and political wisdom. At the end of the day, the debate isn't just about Helen Zille, it's about the balance between youthful energy and seasoned experience. So what do you think? Should leaders like Helen Zille retire from active politics and make way for younger generations? Or is age just a number and what really matters is competence, vision, and ability to deliver? Drop your thoughts below. If you are new here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Heads Up SA for more breakdowns of South Africa's hottest political debates. Keep your heads up, SA.
I woke up. You know, there's this wrong perception. I personally, on a personal level, and this I say very begrudgingly, Helen Zille is a wonderful person. Forget politics. Helen Zille is a wonderful person. I've been to her house. When you agree with Helen Zille, and when I agree with Helen Zille, they say, you, Helen Zille's tea boy. And I always laugh because when I went to Helen Zille's house, she was making tea for me. And I had the urge to record it there, and I thought, no, let me not. I remember I went to Helen Zille's house for the first time. And when I got there, I'm like, Helen, I think you gave me wrong directions. She said, no, are you at the gate? I said, yes, come in. And I went in, I'm like, Helen, is this your house? This looks like an RDP house. Our house is very tiny, there. I said to Helen, I think you wrongfully, corruptly took an RDP house. I can tell you Helen Zille is feisty, but the day will be worse off if Helen Zille is not the leader. I wish you can get rid of Helen Zille. I really, really wish that. I wish you can get rid of her for my own selfish reasons. Helen Zille, when she's on the ground, doing door-to-door, people just love her. And I hate the fact that some of my own people love her. And I just think that people mustn't. I've got great respect and admiration, but I hate her politically. Not for her views, because she's a rival. And I just think that Helen Zille is probably one of the best South Africans we've ever had in this country.
Thank you, Gator.
White supremacist. And if you look at the Western Cape, you'll see that black people are abused there. They live in shit conditions. So she wants to bring that shit condition into Joburg. We do not want Helen Zille. Helen Zille comes from a traumatic past for black people. And she is triggering as fuck. We don't want Helen Zille. She can go and retire. It's good. She's done her part. She's played her part to protect the investors and to make sure that imperialists are eating and not feeding the people of this land. So we don't want Helen Zille. I'm going to say it 100 times because I know you guys, you get caught up. The media will start panting her. You guys are going to start thinking she's okay. She's not okay. We don't want Helen Zille. Look at her track record. We don't want Helen Zille as mayor of Joburg. Thank you.
No one is asking them a question. Where did the EFF do wrong? Where? We're now in government. Where did the EFF do wrong? Show us. Snooki Sigalala says the EFF is not a law-abiding organization. You don't ask him a question, why are they still a registered political party if they are not a law-abiding organization? Because law-abiding means compliance to the Constitution. If you don't comply with the Constitution, you will not be registered as a political party. You take that as a gospel truth and walk away. Kandi's got personal reasons behind what he's saying. Why?